would be, that's our newsletter link. If you haven't seen our newsletter, please crawl out from whatever rock you've been living under and take a look. If you'd like to be a part of the newsletter or throw anything into it or suggest anything, please let us know. There is a caption this contest in there, and if you haven't seen that, maybe you might want to get on that. There's cool quotes and devotionals and videos and all kinds of mixed media, so take a look. Other than that, we honestly have no actual serious things on the agenda this evening, so I'm going to open up the floor now. Does anybody have any open meeting business they'd like to discuss this evening?
Nope.
If you'd like, you can type it in the meeting hall channel or anything else. And because of that, Dynamite Tiger, you're first up.
I've been part of the community since about June of last year, so I don't know if this is a thing or not, but does anybody follow and post information about E3 on the forums, I mean?
I kind of did that, I think, a little bit last year, but I don't think we necessarily have anyone dedicated to that.
Okay. I think, see, part of some of the other communities I've been part of, we started an official E3 topic where not even necessarily the same person, but there was 2 or 3 people who were dedicated to making sure that topic stayed up to date. So as soon as E3 is coming up here pretty soon. It's coming up. It's going to be June 12th to the 14th. So it's about a month away. And if anybody's unfamiliar with E3, it's the Electronic Entertainment Expo, and that's where all the game developers and publishers start showing off all new stuff that's upcoming. So there's reports that there's going to be, information about new console games, new hardware, all kinds of stuff like that. And during those days, they release new game trailers and information about all this upcoming stuff. So with that said, I was thinking maybe it would be a good idea if we start an official E3 topic like that. And as these things are being released, people can post in there and post the information that's been released about certain games and certain hardware and stuff like that. And then you can keep that official topic going every year. So you can actually start going back and seeing, oh yeah, hey, they released this back in 2016 and still not out. Stuff like that, or see how things have started and how things have changed over the years. I think that would be an interesting addition to the forums.
Absolutely. If anything's not breaking our rules, particularly if it's interesting or has content, throw it on the forums. Absolutely. I think the more we put on the forums, the better, actually, lately, because the way technology has progressed and the way we have persistent chats on Discord and everything, the forums is being utilized a little less than normal lately. So anybody that keeps the forums rocking is okay in my book.
Cool.
And Tiger, you're aware that it's like super duper noisy behind your mic?
I was not aware. No, sorry.
It's coming and going. Like just now it wasn't, but a minute ago it sounded like you were in a hurricane. So
that's odd. My mic might be picking up my fan sometimes.
Yes, it may be oscillating in your direction or something.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any more topics or suggestions or anything that has nothing to do with Donut being unmuted?
Yeah, I got one.
What do you have, Elvis?
Just want to know what how are the official games going? That kind of thing. Are they alive, dead, stagnant, stuff, events, stuff?
A quick division report. We do not have anyone from the Overwatch division leadership in tonight, but do we have regular Overwatch players that could speak to that? All right, what I'll do is go ahead and say that it goes without saying. I don't know if you guys see this. I don't think anybody sees this with leadership, but Grizz and Dynamite Tiger and everybody on the art team, they have threads going in a section devoted to keeping art up and up to date and all that. And they've been doing a lot of behind the scenes work on the INI files and so on for the ARC servers, deciding what they want and what they want to drop, that kind of thing. So as far as ARC is concerned, I'll let them speak if they like, but I can tell you for sure that ARC is not just active, but actively being taken care of every day. So anybody want to talk on that?
On ARC, I got kicked for a second there. So yeah, we have 2 servers. We're currently working on making a new server for Extinction Core stuff, and it'll be fun at some point when we finish all of the little tweaks and things that we're working on. But yep, they're still running, still going.
We have a pretty good group of people who play on it. I'd say about, and then a few more on the weekends. We've got the Ragnarok server. We have a few additions added to that to kind of make things a little funner. A couple of mods that we've just recently added, which is kind of brought back some interest in playing on that server since that one's been up for, well, probably a good 8 months or so, I think. Hey, Chris?
Yeah, sometime in the fall. Yeah.
Yeah. And just as Neo and Chris mentioned, we're working pretty hard on trying to get the new server set up. It's going to be highly customized. It's going to be a very unique experience, unlike any other server you'll see out there.
And Mr. Rakachu, do you have anything to say about your divisions? Yeah, anybody that jumps on Monday nights or Friday nights, you can tell as those game nights are underway that both Rocket League and PUBG are extremely popular still. PUBG, I mean, there's people playing it every night. But I think there's people playing Rocket League every night too. They're just not as visible on Discord as the people playing PUBG are. Alrighty, so do we have any more news or thoughts on any of our division games at all?
I just wanted to get that on the recording so that those that aren't at the meeting are like, hey, all right, it's a great update, thanks.
Indeed, and I think it's something that we should definitely have at every meeting. That if there's any news or anything like that, that'd be a great time to make sure people are aware of it. We've had some discussion. A couple of people have asked a couple of minor things like, can we get a Don't Starve server and other games? Any game servers that cost money, you would have to get the support of players in order for CC to devote any resources whatsoever to playing that game. So if a Don't Starve server costs like, let's say $5 a month, well, how many people does that serve? How many people in our community play the game regularly, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, The whole idea of a GTA server has, I don't think that would fly, honestly. So this is what we always say about particular games. If you have a particular game that you like, you know, it's kind of, you might ask around, like, just for example, Skyranger has games that he hosts. These are servers that are not under CC's umbrella. He just completely is totally okay with CC players on his servers. So, you know, if you have somebody that has a server network and they say, hey, I've got a Don't Starve server, then, you know, you invite people to that server. It's not necessarily under CC's control. For example, a Minecraft server, exactly. CC used to have one a long time ago. We had a lot of assets tied into it, like a whitelist server and all this other stuff. And it's just not something that we hold any longer. So if you want to play Minecraft, but still want to play with CC people, ask around. You might find out that sure enough, there's a Minecraft server that somebody runs. The same could possibly be true for Don't Starve or any other games. Okay, catching up to the text chat. Crosser asked if we could reduce the length of channel names in Discord, possibly not put dates and times. It looks like there's a lot of discussion going on back and forth about, you know, some people want dates and times in the names. The only ones that I've seen, well, the only ones that I've seen dates and times in are things like Meeting Hall, and Meeting Hall is going to have the next date of the next meeting in it.
Here's my question, Neil.
Yes.
They're not even in here in the meeting. They don't come in the server. So what's the difference?
That's true too.
I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but if you're going to hang out here, put some skin in the game and don't make suggestions. I mean, it's absurd to me that somebody's not even in the meeting, or I don't know whether you didn't have time or whatever, but I mean, just swing by, hang out in the meeting and talk about it. But yes, I'm eating Steak and Shake, as a matter of fact. I don't understand how does the long length of the name, I seen HUDBus said something on it. How does the length of the name affect your experience in Discord? I guess that's what I'm asking. And I'm open for anything, but
This is just me in general, because I do work with a few other servers here, and we like to keep things as streamlined as possible in terms of voice channels and whatnot. Personally, for events and such that we have a specific channel set aside to announce when we're doing such things. So this is just something I'm bringing over from those other servers as a suggestion. That's pretty much it.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I think this is just carryover from what we did in TeamSpeak, which it may be overkill, but I mean, you hang out here, so I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah,
But
it's just that
honestly, I don't want to hear anybody else's opinion that doesn't bother to come in here, but they want to chime in the meeting. So
I'm just looking at the two channels that have this right now, and I can't even read the entire thing. It actually gets cut off on my end. The channel name's just that long.
what channels are those?
The Bible study and CC book study. I can't read the entire thing. Like, it goes all the way for the book study, it goes all the way to 7, and then it cuts off.
Yeah, I see what you're
Central
saying.
Time.
Dot. Yeah, there's no way to make that name bigger, is there?
Not without, I think the easiest option would be to actually make my Discord window a little larger, but that's...
I have my Discord window opened all the way up full screen.
Yeah, it does nothing. Yeah.
No, it
Sometimes
does nothing. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's what I'm asking. I mean, but that's what I mean. If you're going to be here, you know, now you explained it, and now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think it's better to direct people who are asking about these kinds of things to one specific channel that has all of them listed right then and there, so we don't have to keep telling them to go to X location over and over again. Yeah,
Well,
like
you
a
have
text,
like a calendar channel or something.
like right
Oh,
underneath announcements, add like a calendar channel, as I suggested previously.
Makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say we're still going through growing pains with Discord, and once again, what Globey said is true too. Is a lot of what we have now is carryover from TeamSpeak. The thing that I've noticed when you first come on Discord that confuses some people is how Discord automatically creates a hierarchy of voice channels versus text channels. What I'm wondering is if anybody's seen better ways to organize text versus voice in such a way that they're easy to find. So in other words, like right now we're in the meeting hall voice channel and there's a meeting hall text channel. Is there a more organized way to set them up so that people can find the text analog to the voice channel? Does that make any sense?
Well, the best option right now, they recently added in categories, which we have already made use of here. You could add in a separate category that's nothing but the voice channels, and then one category which is nothing but the text channels. That's pretty much the best option I believe we have right now.
So we're gonna have to wait until they start making subcategories for things like you could have a meeting hall category and you could have the text and the voice channel under that category. That would be in the future, I suppose.
Yeah, that could be an option, but I think with how we have it set up right now, I believe that would be our only option, because Discord by default, and I don't believe there's any way to change this as of right now, it forces voice channels down underneath the text channels no matter what.
Right.
I just tried, or actually, I don't think I have perms for that, but no other server I've been on has voice channels at the top of the text list. It's just a way that they've determined Discord to be set up. It's why they added channel categories to help break these things down. So you could actually create individual categories for each and every single one of these channels that contain, say, the Hangout voice channel and the Hangout text channel right then and there. But then you have a bunch of categories, and that probably would not be the best idea. Although on a somewhat similar note, I would think some of these voice channels that we have that I personally have not seen used at all ever since we transitioned over, specifically the karaoke channel. I haven't seen that used at all. If we could maybe just reduce clutter and eventually determine what channels in terms of voice just aren't used and should be relegated to becoming a temp channel, as Sky has done an excellent job with the temp channel creation system. And if we did the calendar thing, we could also reduce our overall voice channel amount to, well, probably a lot less, maybe all the way down to one specific community-based channel, one permanent, and then the Hangout and the Lounge, and then a bunch of temp channels for more specific things if needed.
Alrighty.
I'm down somewhere.
This sounds like a job for a forum post, forum thread.
That it does, and it's, I think, yeah, I'll get to work on one right now.
I would really appreciate as much input on this as we can get, because again, many people have their own Discord servers or go to other Discord servers and they see slightly more effective ways to use them. If you have suggestions that fall into that kind of niche and you see a way that we could possibly use our channels a little more efficiently, you're welcome to get in on that conversation. That's how things in CC tend to get done, is when people say, hey, you know, I saw this and this is how it worked, and people go, hey, that's a great idea, and they pick it up and it, you know, it gets a little support, boom, it happens. So let's see some suggestions and thoughts on this, because we could talk about it all night here in a meeting and not actually commit to anything. But if we put it in a forum post where everybody can read it over a period of time and everybody can give their opinions on it, we may come to a point where we decide to take a poll or something like that. But we are not resistant to that sort of suggestion. Again, we're kind of still going through the growing pains and still we're still operating in a little bit of a TeamSpeak mindset, vaguely, and we're trying to come away from that. So any suggestions are welcome.
Yeah, if you can put your thoughts there, that makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm all for streamlining it, making it more simple. It's just a be growing things and stuff. I've been in some servers that's got 9,000 channels and you can't find nothing. So I can see where clutter will get in the way if we're not careful.
Alrighty. How about us going to take the lead and make sure that we get a forum thread out of that? I want to say welcome to the people that are joining just a little bit late. You haven't missed a whole lot. This has been an open meeting. We haven't really had a whole lot of stuff. that was like planned ahead of time. We've just been talking about things as they come. And in light of that, does anybody have any further suggestions or ideas or open meeting business this evening? Anything at all? As you can see, we can jump from subject to subject pretty quick. Could we have a second Bible study a week? That would be something that we'd have to ask the Bible study leaders, and I would probably say no, only because I'm not sure you realize how much work they put into pulling off one a week. Yeah, so I'm at the risk of saying the book study might go away if we were to have 2 Bible studies a week. Yeah, Donna, I wasn't saying, I know that they're separated voice versus text, but I was saying maybe they'll come up with categories in such a way that you can put, let's say you have a channel called pizza and it's voice, but you also have a channel called pizza and it's text only. They could be under the pizza category right next to each other so people can find them easier, as opposed to one of them being way up in the text channel only and one of them being way down in the voice channel only, if you see what I'm saying. Well, this is the thing. See, this is why I'm saying, whenever HUDBUS puts out that thread, you should go in there and make sure everybody knows that, because I'm sure there are people that don't know everything about how Discord works, how channels can be dragged, how they can be placed in line, that kind of thing. So be sure that you read what people post in there and then offer suggestions other people have it. So we get opinions from all sides. Well, hey, let me sort of nip that in the bud just a little bit, Ginger. Sky is our guy as far as it comes to, the bot and everything. But what I would like to say is that all of us are responsible for how we put our server together and what our opinions are, such as, for example, the thing earlier about the Bible study channel being too long to read, that kind of thing. If nobody had brought that up, we would not know that was driving some people crazy. So Sky may be responsible for a great bit of stuff, but that doesn't mean that we all can't, throw our opinions out and work on stuff. If we let Sky basically be the Discord guy, then we're just saying, oh, we don't need to learn this. Oh, we don't need to worry about it. We've got somebody. I know a guy. And that's not how you should think about this. You should think about it as another asset that belongs to our community that you should learn just as much as Sky learned about. If that makes sense. Well, yeah, I agree that he should be involved, especially when it's coding and stuff. But what I mean is, short of coding, we need everybody's opinion and everybody's thoughts. So. Just out of curiosity, do we ban people for having basketball avatars in Discord?
Why would we do that?
Yeah, I was just looking at the kid nobody likes. All right, and in effect, though, does anybody have any other open meeting business, whether it has to do with Discord or not? Anything at all? I'd just like to point out that everything that's been said tonight, we've discussed. You do not have to be like an active member in here every day of the week to share your thoughts. But I mean, just in this meeting alone, let's see, for example, Elvis has given us 2 suggestions, and he usually does at least one per meeting. So I mean, we're actually pinning in this channel now. We're pinning the link to the pre-meeting discussion. So if you ever come into this channel during the middle of the week and you just want to know, like the link to the pre-meeting discussion for the next week's meeting, we're now pinning. Suggestion you have, you might think it's a little small. We might use it. Golf isn't a sport, dude.
Golf is a sport.
No, it's not. It's like a hobby.
It's an expensive hobby.
He's just trying to get my goat with the whole old man thing, and he doesn't know that I'm mentally like 18, so those jokes pass right over my head. All right, last call. Any open meeting business this evening before the leadership goes into a closed session? Does not matter what it's about or any questions you may have. Any suggestions you might have.
I get this weird feeling that if I come up with something, it'll be right after everything goes into close, but I'll just probably post it in suggestions as well if it comes up.
That's how it usually happens, isn't it? Oh, I should have. Oh, that's why we had the pre-meeting discussion, so people it'll be on your radar. Can we give Kid Nobody Likes owner?
Who is it?
I think he wants to be server owner. Alrighty, just because I'm a good guy and I want to make sure this happens. We have a number of things that are not being mentioned tonight because people aren't here or what have you. So anybody that is part of Cappy's upcoming D&D thing, if you haven't seen his thread, that's going to be put off by just a little bit for a good reason. But if you're playing or you didn't know about it, maybe you should get a hold of Cappy or look in the forums for some information. Once again, if you haven't seen our newsletter, please take a look, and you're welcome to comment at the bottom. And I would like to say this now for anybody that's in this channel that doesn't know. You are able to comment on the bottom of the newsletter. You do not have to be logged into the WordPress website. Being logged into the forums does not do anything. All you do is put in a name and an email, and you can comment. You don't have to do anything more than that. You don't have to be logged in. Your comment won't show up right away because comments are moderated, so they have to be approved.
I believe Mario has a question.
What do you have, Mario?
Two things there. Number one, I'm not sure. I think I don't even get a newsletter. I'd have to check again. And number two, I was wondering how far has the whole meeting or time for a meeting gone in regards to when it comes to watching a movie, listening to a sermon, stuff like that. Or conference message, etc.
I'm sorry, we're not understanding what you're talking about exactly.
I was under the impression that sometimes, apparently, people meet and either watch a movie, watch some TV together, or a conference message, etc. Is this something that happens spontaneously, or will this become more regularly? What's going on in this regard?
We haven't had one of those in a while. Anybody want to take that? This is more like a thing that people just decide they're going to create an event and they're going to do it, and then it happens. It's not like something that CC just throws out very regularly. It's more like a member decides they're going to host it and it happens.
Okay, and can anyone start a thing like that?
What I would honestly suggest is talking to some people that have done them in the past, because what they'll do is they may have a streaming service like Netflix or something, or it may be something else, and they use a service called, I think it's called Rabbit, and that serves their movie or stream or whatever to multiple people. And there are rules and regulations and things to that, and I'm not sure what they all are, but they can probably tell you more. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, if you could help Mario out here. I don't
stream it. Just when I did movie nights and all of that back in the days, it was a simple matter. Just the room invite code. You fire up your Netflix, Amazon Prime, Crunchyroll, YouTube, whatever account, and people join in with that invite code. And as long as you're not in a territory where anything could be potentially blocked because of your own territory rules, anybody could really watch. It's not, it's not a big deal, really. On Rabbit specifically.
Neo, there is a website called Rabbit or whatever, and it's a basically a movie site where you basically join, like, you make a group, and like people join your movie session or whatever, and basically you just sit there and watch a movie the whole entire hour. It's like a movie website. Basically, you make a group or whatever you call it, a movie room or whatever, like Sean the Gamer's room, movie room, whatever. And basically, people can get invited to your room and they can watch a movie with you. Like any movie. Like I'm saying, like any movie. I don't know. It's like Rabbit or something. It's some kind of like website called Rabbit or whatever. It's like a movie website. Rabbit.it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's a cool website. I mean, you get to watch movies with like random people.
Because I'd be interested in maybe watching some stuff with people sometimes.
This I'm kind of wondering if we shouldn't have like some sort of way. I'm probably going to talk to leadership tonight, maybe see if we can come up with a way to make it a little easier for people to create event nights that are members. Because every time somebody goes, okay, what if we wanted to do blankety blank type of event? Our stock answer is start a forum thread and drum up support for it and blah, blah, blah. When in reality, what we should be doing is we should be maybe creating a system where a person who comes up with a great idea will have some help creating that event. We had event coordinators for a while, which is a position, and pretty much most of our event coordinators have just things in their real lives that are just more important right in this moment. So maybe we should come up with another way that we can put events together, because I've had some event ideas float through my head as well lately, and other than just people occasionally saying, hey, let's do an event like this, we don't really have something together for that. So maybe we need to talk about it. I may start a thread on that tonight, and if I do, if people would offer suggestions, that'd be great. I'm sorry, Sean, you had something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say what Keza said, that I don't think Rabbit.it is legal. People go on that website all the time and watch movies with their friends, and I don't think it's a legal site, because there's a lot of people that use that site, and I'm in another Christian Discord that uses that site, and we never got in trouble for using it. So I don't think that site's legal. I don't think it is, because I mean a lot of people use it, so I don't think it's legal.
Alrighty, I'm seeing suggestions about all these channels in Discord. Let me make a couple of comments about Discord channels real quickly. Now, I'm not speaking for the entire council, I'm just speaking for myself, but We have an entire website and a very thorough forums, and I am not of the mind of creating a Discord channel that takes away functionality from our website and forums that is already in place and placing it on Discord, which is only going to make more channels and more confusion on Discord. So we have a fully functional calendar. We have fully functional forum posts and sections for things all over the forums and website. There's no reason to throw all of that in Discord because, gosh darn it, people can't be troubled to come by the website or the forums. They need to be using what we already have in place, in my opinion. Just my thought, though.
I just want to briefly say something about the movie nights and any kind of events or anything like that. When I did movie nights, I didn't just do a forum topic. I didn't just do polls. I didn't just, I'll just put this over here and wherever the chips fall, that's where they fall. You have to network people. You have to talk to those that are really close to you in the community. Like for me, it was Oxy and Crosser and some others. So I would go to them and they would help me with spreading the word or graphics or whatever that they could do on their spare time. And during the CC meetings, I would drum up support. I would say, hey guys, there's a movie night coming out, and I would do it a month ahead of time. I wouldn't do it like a week or a day before. I try to do it a month before so that people were, at least had plenty of time to get in there and say, hey, there is an event coming up. So I did the legwork. I hammered in the words and the events and the time and the movies and the options and on and on and on and on. It was a lot of work. It took a lot of time. It was not easy because I knew that even if I put a tremendous amount of work into this, I knew that it would either be a total success or it would just fall flat on my face. And that's not the point. The point is that you got to get in there. You got to get dirty. You got to get your nails dirty. You can't just do a forum topic. You have to network, Steam group, Facebook, Twitter, whatever connections that are to CC. I'm not even talking about just a movie night. I mean, anything, it doesn't matter what it is. So, just something to keep in mind for those that are members that want to create events. You got to do the work. You got to persevere. You cannot just give up and say, oh, well, a forum topic, good enough. So I want to encourage people that really want to get events going, whatever they may be in this community. Like really, if you're really passionate about it and you really want it to get the word out and get people to come to your event, you really got to just not one thing and call it a day. So talk to people. Don't be afraid to come in Discord or talk to a council member or an event coordinator, whoever, and say, hey, could you help me here? Could you do something here, like a little shout out or whatever? And I'm sure someone will give a little shout out and be like, hey, this is the event, movie night, whatever. And so do it. Whatever it is, just don't give up, just give it your all. I mean, council members aren't going to do it for you. Event coordinators aren't going to do it for you. Do it. Get people excited, passionate, on fire. So go for it. And something to just keep in mind, if you ever want to do events.
I totally agree. I appreciate the thoughts, Elvis. I've tried to tell people this, and I've used this phrase very often, which is, the leadership can light the fire, but we can't keep it lit. If we have an idea for something or we put something in place that will make it easier for you as the membership to do something, and you never use it, then it just goes to waste. We have the ability to have excellent game nights or anything else, and we've proven that. And you look at Rocket Chair and you look at our Rocket League tournaments, people ask him all the time when the next tournament is going to be, because maybe he's not holding them often enough. Maybe once every 2 or 3 months is not common enough for people. But they also don't know how much work he puts into making them work well. And then when they're done, everybody complains that, it didn't go the way they wanted it to go. So it's a thankless job. It's a hard job. It's not something, that you just up and do. But we put all this stuff in place to help you guys. If you guys want to have any kind of event, watch movies, anything like that, all you got to do is tell somebody, and we'll do everything in our power to help you out with it. But you can't just suggest it on Discord and expect that it's just going to go flying into the stratosphere. That's not going to happen.
Hey, I have something to say, Neil.
Okay.
So say it.
Okay, so as we're as a Christian group, since we're Christians, and we're really helpful with helping people out. There is a St. Jude charity stream going on around Twitch and stuff, and so I was wondering, like, since we're a Christian group, is there a way we could help out with, we could help, help with the charity, I don't know, like on our Twitch channel, since we have a CC Gaming Twitch channel, could we help out, could we help the kids in need that are, sick and at St. Jude's? Could we, help out some way by, having people donate, that come into the Twitch channel and say, hey, CC Gaming is supporting St. Jude's for kids who are sick. Could we help with charities in some way? Could we help the community out?
Well, first of all, our Twitch channel is kind of in a limbo state right now because we had an entire team of people that were excited to be Twitch streamers, and then we ended up having maybe 2 people who actually streamed worth anything. I don't want to make too much of a joke about it, but essentially, if you go to the CC store, there's a picture of a unicorn there, and that was because some of our people have the attention span of a gnat riding a bullet through clouds of colorful glitter in front of a double rainbow while a unicorn in the background whistles the battle hymn of the Republic. And that picture can be yours on a t-shirt from the CC store. But anyway, shameless plug. Anyway, the point is, we could sit here and we can say, oh, we'll use the Discord channel for this, or we'll use the Twitch channel for that, or we'll do this on Facebook. Honestly, we're lucky if we get 2 viewers when we do have a stream on there. What I've been attempting to do is I've been attempting to stream a little bit of stuff on there just from time to time. And for those of you that don't know, our own Sprinkles Miner actually has Minecraft Mondays now. We're very much on schedule every week on Monday. Sprinkles is playing Minecraft. And so support her if you're a Twitch fan or a Minecraft fan. But even despite trying to slowly but surely kind of under the radar bring our Twitch channel back, we rarely have anybody watching it. So the idea of creating this big thing on our Twitch channel is kind of premature. We don't really have that many people watching. We don't have the pull or the power to bring that in. So yeah, I mean, we're run by donations as it is. So what you're asking, we would be forced to decide, well, how much of what donations we receive go to what, and you'd be asking a couple of people in our community to decide, how much a particular charity gets. And then there'd be people who go, oh, well, don't give to that charity because they only use 30% of every dollar. And there'd just be a whole bunch of levels of bureaucracy to this, and I don't see how it would be beneficial to anybody for us to do that. It's a great idea, but it's on paper it's a little better than it is in reality.
I mean, it is for a good cause. We're helping kids out that are sick.
So send them $20.
Yeah, I think Custa said it best. That's more of an individual choice. God loves a cheerful giver, but the community as a whole giving that way is kind of problematic.
Now, if you wanted to come up with some kind of event or work with others to come up with an event to raise money specifically for a charity that you wanted to pull and support, I wouldn't see a problem with that. But as far as taking our donations that are given to CC specifically, we've never used them other than for anything but to keep CC afloat. So,
yeah, I think Global makes a good point. Reminds me of something. Every year, Cappy is involved in something called Extra Life. And if you don't know anything about Extra Life, I would definitely Google that. That is a way for you to get sponsors to sponsor a night of playing games like for hours on end. And the more hours you can play, the more money you raise. But that, again, that's something that you as an individual can do. That's even something that you could talk members of our community into turning into an event and to help. Maybe we could get 10 people doing it at once one year. But as a community, as a whole, like I said, it draws in too many levels of who's going to be in control of it, where's the money going to go, where's blah 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 blah. Now, this is one of those things where we get into a little debates occasionally about what CC is. CC is not a replacement for a church. If I were you and you wanted to do something for children, I would go to your church and go to your pastor and ask him if there's a way that you can specifically donate to a specific cause, or that the church could specifically raise money for a specific. That kind of thing in your own community actually is more powerful than doing it on the internet. Most of the time when people on the internet see people trying to raise money for something, the very first response to that is not the same as, say, if they heard it from their pastor, if you get what I'm saying. People are automatically kind of, unsure about stuff like that on the internet. So. Yeah, that's another good point made by Ginger, is that when we say that the money raised here goes straight to CC, what we mean is it pays the server bills, it pays for literally the hosting bills for the website. Nobody that ever does any of the work on CC's website or anything else, any of the graphics, any of the newsletter stuff, any of that, nobody ever gets paid. None of them. Nobody makes any profit whatsoever off of CC. As a matter of fact, the only thing that even approaches profit is the CC store, and all that is $2 every time a shirt is bought, and that $2 goes straight to our server bills as well. So our web hosting service is called DreamHost, and if I had a chance to move it off of DreamHost right now to another service, I would, but that's not up to me alone. So. Yeah, it's Ever makes a good point above, is that when you have a community like this, we have to take into account everybody has different opinions at different levels of the discussion. So if we were talking about something like donating, there would be 50 different opinions right out of the gate about who should do this and who should do that, who should get the money, who shouldn't, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why we kind of stay away from that sort of thing. Anybody else have any open meeting business this evening? Anything else on this topic? Again, if I can come up with an idea, or if anybody else comes up with an idea and wants to approach me about it, or we can develop it amongst ourselves, I would really like to come up with an idea, get leadership's opinion on it, where we could make it a little easier, a little more streamlined for people to come up with events and have them push through and become actual events instead of just ideas. So, for example, Mario wants to do the movie night thing. If there were something in place that would make it easier for him to say, this is the kind of event I want, and then we just, boom, we have a system in place that makes it easier. Anybody that comes up with suggestions for that, I'm all ears. What do you have, Mario? Anyone else is also, Mario's typing right now. Anybody else is welcome to type any thoughts they might want to address before we finish the meeting.
If I may, Neil, was there a link to the Twitch?
I can link the Twitch. 1 second.
Yes, please do. I'd love to watch Sprinkles on Mondays.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm not sure, Mario, how well you know Drawpile, but basically you can create your own server with Drawpile at any time. And if you're not sure how that works, you can get together. Cuss, I'm sure, knows how it works. Alrighty, folks, we're drawn to a close here. We're over an hour. Anybody have anything further? Please do me a favor, and when you leave the meeting, make certain that you check the forums for, like, Hibiscus thread or anything else that we've talked about that anybody else is starting a thread for. Doctor, would you like to address Taco Tuesdays? They might be cold.